Good afternoon, guys. Today is Sunday, January 28th, and I finished my new journal, my new junk journal, and I wanted to share this with you. It's going to be in my Etsy store, so I thought that I would go ahead and share this beautiful journal with you. I love the picture. I found that picture on Pinterest, a free download, and I distressed her the edges with my distressor. This is not a Tim Holtz distressor, but it definitely does work. This is for I got this at the Chinese store, the dollar store. It says Happy Chef, $1. Anyway, the paper line that I use was this one, DCWV Pocket Blossoms, and I used the blue in it, the blue sheets. Let me just turn this around. See the blue sheets there? And then again in the back. I love that blue. It's so vintage. I used an eyelet there with some organza ribbon, peach organza ribbon. I used some peach trim, just a touch of it. I did it around the border. I have a peach rose here with some I always forget, these gemstones. They're teal, and the seam binding that I dyed with a zelatile excuse me, a zelatile flower, a butterfly, and these are two zelatile flowers with some dyed doilies, and it is dyed with walnut stain. Actually walnut stain, but it is the ink oxides. All right, and then these corner things, I don't know what to call them. I actually made these, so I will have a video just on how to make these, because these are pretty expensive. But since I made these and I colored, dyed them, colored them, whatever, they cost me next to nothing. So I will have a video on that. All right. Anything else that we have to... Oh, and it's 104 pages in this journal, in this junk journal. Okay. All right. Here we have, I'm going to try and stay in focus. I always forget. I'm going to try not to forget. We have our beautiful little girl there. Her name is Darla. Oh, excuse my nails. I just stopped working and I just started to record. Her name is Darla. This is an envelope that I made out of a paper bag, and it says gospel right there. Luke 7:11-17. Look at that. Somebody should play that. And then I put the little doggy there so that he could be the you'll be able to seal it with his body. The Sweet Life, you could journal in the back. I didn't put anything on there. I figured, when I decorate my books, I go overboard, according to my husband. So I stopped myself. I did what I could and tried not to go overboard. This behind Darla is an actual doily, cloth doily, and you have space here enough to tuck something under there. See that? All right. This is from the same paper collection, Pocket Blossoms. I put a lace trim on there. And look at this beautiful letter. I actually used the same letter just underneath her picture with another piece of the cardstock. This is a different type of cardstock, from a different collection, I should say. But it was mustard, so, you know, mustard is usually a vintage color, and I backed it with that. I love the way the cover came out. All right, a doily, seam binding here, black, and then I did I think they call them tip-ins, like this, with the letter, and then seam binding down here. These tags I got off of Pinterest, and I added the bulb pin clip and 2 buttons, 2 vintage buttons, and that's a tuck spot right there. I have a little envelope. I put a little cut out there, another small tag for journaling, and I put the baby boy so that you can tuck it behind them. These are the Tim Holtz paper dolls, and stamped it. Journaling. This I sewed together on my machine. This is part of the collection, and this is a Pinterest download. You can journal in the back. I just enlarged it, and more lace trim with a I forget what you call these, hole reinforcements. I stamped vintage on here and printed that out on both sides. This is coloring paper, grid paper. I put a little hole reinforcement there so that if you wanted to dangle anything from there, you could, and it wouldn't interfere with breaking the paper. I did the same thing here. I dangled a peach button with some twine, white and peach. I love that. Harlequin stamp on the side, and all of the pages are coffee dyed. A little bag, another tuck. You can, put whatever papers you have in there. More gospel pages. And this is a stamp. This is also a tuck. Okay, and they're both from Pinterest. A stamp here, and these stamps are all from Martha Stewart. It's a stencil actually. And then this beautiful girl, I cut her out into a tag style. I put the hole reinforcement with the dyed seam binding. Another doily, coffee dyed pages. Whoop. This is Inspire with a hole reinforcement and the blue seam binding. A stamp. This stamp is Tim Holtz. Again, the same thing here. This is a belly band. I stamped the word together and forever. You have a glycine bag here. I opened it, I cut it and opened it so you could have a pocket. I love the way the coffee stain paper came out. Came out really, really nice. And then this is crochet thread. I have tons because I crochet. And I went ahead and punched these two out. And I think these are from Stampin' Up! On both sides as dangles. And the color matches the book, and it says Home Sweet Home. And that's another stamp. I don't know where that stamp is from. Hug, the other side of the glycine bag. Harlequin, a flower with leaves, and I cut this like this. I just wanted it to look really old. Another doily, another stamp. This is a Tim Holtz ruler. It's a stencil. This is Tim Holtz as well. Flowers. The other side of the hem book. I put this paper clip with another tag there that they could journal on and, you know, do what they want with it. Another tag here with a button. I added a button. And the button has actually, I believe it's a carriage or some sort of car. You see that? Yeah, it's a carriage. That is a vintage button. And I only had one. Tim Holtz stenciling. I did the same thing here. I added a button on top. That's an actual button. With some twine. I left that one open. And this is coloring paper. Stamp the word art. This is sketching paper. And the two little girls, and this is supposed to be the sun behind them. And that's the first signature. This is the second signature. This is a complete tuck here, like that, with some lace trim. This is part of the collection. Another tag, it says Dream Big. I have these two little paper dolls from Tim Holtz, and the same thing. You have another tag for journaling. Okay. Oh, and this paper line, I'm sorry, I didn't even mention this paper line is from NN Creations. This is a stamp that I have. These are stamps. This is another stamp, a clear stamp. It says I love us. This is from Pinterest, a page that you can draw on. I left these available for whomever purchases this book. They can create their own dangles and be creative. This bag I left without anything. Again, another part of the Hems book. Harlequin stamp. This is another stamp, stencil. Sorry, I forget that it's a stencil. This is a stamp. It says love you. And I don't know if I went overboard, but I put some sparkling lipstick on her and some sparkling flowers with a sparkling button on her. And I kind of like that. Another stamp, a doily, another butterfly stamp. This is a tuck here. And it has buttons attached to it at the end. It has two buttons with some twine, colorful twine, laughter. And this is another download, a Pinterest download. And you could journal in the back. XOXO on a doily, a butterfly here, because it's here. Alright, look at this. Isn't this beautiful? That's the coffee dye. It says hello, that's another stamp, a clear stamp, and I did the same thing with this. I dangled this where you could, it says X and a heart. This is another stamp, another clear stamp. This is part of the collection. I tucked it there after I sewed it as a pocket and added a tag with buttons. And a stamp here, butterfly stamp. Another butterfly stamp here. Another tag with a typewriter, doily. More dyed pages. A little bird, a clear stamp. Again, I clipped that on. This is a copper clip. Another tag, it says 15 cents. Bird stamp, hem page. This one I opened up as well. So you have a pocket there. And then here you have more buttons. Another button. I left this. This is drawing paper. Pinterest lined paper, thinking of you. And this is drawing paper. And then this is the end of signature too. And I put a lace. I washed this down with gesso and a doily and 2 more tags. And you have a pocket on either side. I love, love, love this color. And this is pretty sturdy. See? Alright guys, well this is my share. This will be on my Etsy page. And also I am going to upload the video on YouTube so that you're able to see the book in slow motion, or if you want to recreate it, or if you want to purchase it. I'm still debating if I'm going to put anything here on the spine. I really would like to do a punch here and put an eyelet and dangle some buttons, but we'll see. But for now, that is, and I'm going to call this one love letters, since I have 2 love letters in there. So this one is vintage love letters. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, comment, and subscribe so that you don't miss the next upload from me. And every like helps my channel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.